I am going on a quick backpacking trip tomorrow, just for one night, and I decided to make a video of everything that I'm bringing and talk about the gear that I have and show you guys how I pack my backpack. So, starting off with my backpack, it's this. It's Deuter brand, 45 liters, but it has a 15-liter extension up on the top. So when I'm packing my bag, I start off with, I'll start with my water bladder because it's kind of easier to put in when you don't have a bunch of stuff already in your pack. So this is a Camelback. I think it's 2 liters. Yeah, it's 2 liters. It's a good water bladder, no complaints. So there's a little pocket in the back of the backpack that all backpacks will have for your water bladder. And then a little Velcro hook that you can put it in. And then lastly, you can take your spout and kind of push it through to the back. So you can twist the yellow thing on the top to keep the spout closed so you don't spill water. And the last thing I'll point out is I have this like add-on thing that's really nice. Let's show you. It's like this little hook that you put on your strap, and it's magnetic, and you put the other end on, where's the camera? On the spout, so that when you're walking, your straw part doesn't bounce around and hit you a bunch. Second is my tent. I have the REI Half Dome 1 Plus, which is obviously meant for one person, but one person who likes having a little bit extra space. Or honestly, I would be comfortable with sharing it with someone who is of lesser size than me, and I'm like 5'5", so pretty much just my sister, because I don't really know much people who are smaller than me at this age. So that goes in next, and it goes kind of along the side in my bag. And these are the stakes for my tent, which I'm gonna kind of lay on the other side of the bag. Here is the footprint, which you put underneath your tent, and these are the stakes. Next thing I pack is my sleeping bag, which this is from Eastern Mountain Sports, which used to be in Annapolis, but that store closed. I don't know if they have any stores open in other locations. They probably do. This is a mummy bag. It's down. It's rated for 20 degrees. And I've used it a couple times and I have no complaints. I really like it. If you're wondering why I keep it in the mesh bag, it's because you don't want to keep down sleeping bags shoved into their tiny little carrier, because it could damage the filling. So the stuff sack, first you kind of buckle it closed and then you can compress it even more, which is cool, except I always feel bad for the sleeping bag because it just gets shoved. So you can see how tiny that got. Yeah, so this goes in my bag next. rule of thumb is you kind of want the stuff that you need to access less often towards the bottom of the bag because it's harder to access. Next, I'm going to probably shove some clothes in there. So for clothes, I have, this is the clothes that I'm going to be wearing tomorrow, so I'm not packing them. Just, oops, North Face, like, I don't know what they're called, but they're like super lightweight and breathable. And those are some pants, bra and underwear, and then like it's not a dry fit shirt, but it's like that material to wear, short sleeve. Plus, I'll start off in these, which are smart wool hiking socks, I think medium padding or whatever. And then I also will have an extra pair of hiking socks because I like to trade them off as soon as my feet start to get sweaty so that I don't get blisters. So for sleeping, I have a long sleeve dry fit shirt and a pair of little jogger sweatpants. I have a down, or I think this is synthetic, North Face, like one of those bubbly jackets. And then I have a rain jacket and an extra pair of underwear. And my clothes I normally kind of shove along the front of my pack just to fill up some of the gaps that exist. You really want to make sure you're using your space efficiently. The amount of clothes that I would bring on a like 5 or 6 day trip versus a 2-day trip is like almost the exact same. There's really not that much different, except maybe some extra pairs of underwear, because you really don't need a new pair of pants every day. Okay, so I have this propane from Walmart. Yeah, that's about that. This is my camping stove. It's pretty crappy. Well, no, it's not crappy. It's just not fancy. It's a basic, I'll get up closer, basic little stove from Walmart. You kind of pull this out, screws on to your propane back here. You set your pot on top. Yeah, it's definitely not the nicest thing out there. And then you ignite it. It has a self-igniter thing. This little red button. You can push it. You push it and it lights up when it's attached to propane. But I also have matches and a lighter because I don't trust the self-igniter. One day I dream of owning a Jetboil, but they're expensive, so not yet. So that's my stove. This is what I cook with, which is also pretty crappy, but it'll be fine for the one night that I'm gonna have to use it. It's just a little mess kit that I got from Dick's Sporting Goods. I boil water in here and then make my ramen in here. And it has a little cup, a little plastic cup that I'll use for having tea in the morning. It is kind of nice how it all fits together. Oh god, that was a horrible noise. This was like 10 bucks, so it's definitely not high quality, but it gets the job done. Now that we're getting into the stuff that you use more frequently, it's getting closer to the top of the bag. Okay. So, oh yeah, and then I have a Sea to Summit spork with a knife on the other side. The but that goes elsewhere in my bag because it's small. Okay, next is my water filtration system. So I have a Sawyer squeeze system. Water from the stream, this piece goes here, and then you squeeze it out of the pack, or out of the pouch, into whatever water device you're drinking out of. And then this is what you use to backwash the filter and clean it. We'll put that on top. Okay, like I said, this is a 2-day trip. I should be done, theoretically, before dinner on day 2. So if I were to only pack food that I know I would absolutely need, it would be lunch for both days and dinner on the first day and breakfast for day 2, because I'll eat breakfast before I start tomorrow. But you should always plan on being out there for at least 1 extra day. So here's what I have for food. I have some mini bagels that I will be having for lunch on both days with tuna. So I got these tuna packs from the grocery store. They have different flavors. I have no idea if they'll be any good, but I'm gonna eat them regardless because it's all the food that I have. I portioned it out so that I could have 3 mini bagels per day, and then I have 3 extra, if in case something happens and I'm out there longer. And then for dinner on night 1, I'll just have ramen. So for breakfast, when I wake up on day 2, I have 2 packets of instant oatmeal, which is nice because you just have to boil water. And then once again for lunch, I have 2 more packets of tuna. For snacks, I have peanuts, another one of those same granola bars, another apple, another pack of peanut butter. I won't eat all of my mangoes and jerky on day 1, so those are also going in here. I have a packet of vanilla chai for in the morning because I will admit that I have a very slight addiction to caffeine, and if I don't have anything, I will probably get a headache around 2 p.m. And who wants to have a headache when they're backpacking? Okay, I'll put the apple on top so it doesn't bruise. And then, so that theoretically is all of the food that I'll need for this trip, assuming I finish before dinner on day 2. But in case that doesn't happen, I have another packet of ramen, 2 more packets of oatmeal, another granola bar, another bag of peanuts, another thing of peanut butter, and 3 extra mini bagels. So I know my bag is close to full, but knowing that I won't have all of these bagels at the end of day 1 will also help. And then lastly, my apple can fit on top. So there's proof that my food fits, so it can be safe from raccoons or bears or whatever may try. I'm not going to keep my apple in there because I don't want it to get bruised. So I'll put my day 1 food. Well, maybe I want to put it in here. No. I'll put it in here. Put my day 1 food towards the top because that's stuff that I'm going to want, early on. So it looks like that is about everything that's going to go in the main compartment in my bag. I'm going to wait to put the apples in until tomorrow morning because I don't want them to bruise. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to close top, or I'm gonna close that compartment now. Okay, so the bag has a nice little pocket up here in the top of the bag, which is where I put little things that I don't want to have get lost. You always want to have some first aid stuff. So I have, in this, I have some gauze, hand sanitizer, some Aleve, Neosporin, chapstick, bug spray, wipes, which I've never used before, but I got them for like $2 at an REI garage sale, and I'm hoping that they make my skin feel less sticky than bug spray, because I really hate that feeling. And then I have another pack that has just a ton of Band-Aids and some alcohol pads. I also have some toiletries. So I have some tampons that I'm going to bring because I'm going to be on my period, which sucks, but what are you going to do about it? So I have 2 Ziploc freezer bags that I'm going to bring that I'll be able to put my feminine waste in, because you have to pack everything out, you know. Then I have a compass, whistle, thermometer, or is that what they're called? Yeah, a thermometer. You always want to have some form of navigation. I don't have a topographic map of the hike that I'm doing, but it's along the Appalachian Trail and it's 2 days. And I do have the 2019 AT guidebook and a compass. So I feel pretty comfortable. I really should have a map. And if I ever go on longer trips, I do have maps. A headlamp, just because you don't know when you'll be caught in the dark. Also, I like to read, and I'm bringing a book with me. And if I decide to read after the sun sets, I will need light. Then I have some compressed toilet paper, which I am very frugal with when I go backpacking, but it's made for camping. I guess all toilet paper is probably able to biodegrade or decompose, but I guess since this stuff is really thin, it is a little bit better to use in the privies that they have there if you need to use it. I'm going to loosen this a little bit. Okay, what else do I have? A toothbrush and toothpaste goes in the top. Sunscreen stick, pretty self-explanatory. I have a lighter, a torch lighter, a box of, there's probably like 37 more waterproof matches in here, and a Swiss Army knife all go in there, and some like bandaging tape. And then I'm also going to put my retainers in this pocket. So this is for all of my little things that I don't want to get lost within this bag, because there's a lot going on. And then this stuff, this I meant to put in too. This is just a mini inflatable camping pillow, which I've learned I actually think I sleep better without it, but I'm going to bring it anyways. I don't know why. I have a pack towel, which is really nice for hot days. I just attach it to the outside of my bag. Whenever I pass a stream, I just soak it in the stream, and then I can put it on the back of my neck or wipe my face off with it and just let it hang over my backpack when I'm walking, and it dries in like 5 minutes. And it packs up really nice and tight. Or not tight, but really, really small. And then I have my rain cover for my bag, which I have not actually tested to see if it'll fit with my sleeping pad, because I got a new sleeping pad. So we'll see. So the last thing, I have my AT guidebook, which I'm just going to put in the front pocket right there. And I'm going to bring this book, The Great Gatsby. I've been avoiding reading it. It's small, it's thin. That's why I chose it. So that is also going to go in the front pocket. If it were to like start raining, which the weather's supposed to be really good, I'd probably move it to the inside of my bag, but I don't think it's going to rain. Lastly, I'll just talk about sun protection. I have a hat. Oh gosh, I'm not in the video. Okay. I have a hat. Yeah. And then I also have this knockoff buff. Yeah. And then for my shoes, I have La Sportiva Trail Runners. Oops. They're very bright. They're blue. Apparently everything I own is blue, if you didn't notice that while I was making this video. I've never been backpacking in these. I've been trail running in them, and I've done long hikes, but never backpacking. And then for my camp shoes and my camp socks, which I put somewhere. Where did I put them? I don't know where I put my camp socks. I'll find them. I have Crocs as my camp shoes, which I'll attach to the outside of my bag with a carabiner once I find one. And that is pretty much everything. So I'm just gonna finish packing. Like, I forgot to put my stove in, so I'm gonna do that stuff now. I'll put my extra pair of socks that I'm gonna change into when my feet start to get sweaty in the very front, so that I have them very easily accessible, because I know those are something that I'll be reaching for. And then the other thing is, you should always have identification, some money, you know, in case of emergency. I'm not going to bring this giant wallet, but I will bring my ID and my debit card, and I need to get cash from the bank, because I don't have any. But the underside of my little top pocket has a secret zipper pocket where I'll put that stuff. I guess it's not a secret anymore. This top part of the bag can actually detach completely and become like a really oddly shaped day pack, which I've never used because I think it's shaped weird, and I feel like it's more of like a, I don't know in what emergency you would just need a day pack. I guess if you needed to go like super fast, because the straps are also pretty thin, not like super comfortable. Lastly, I keep saying that, I feel like I've probably said that 3 times, I'll attach, get this stuff out of the way, my sleeping pad, which I attach to the outside of my bag, which that is specifically the reason that I got this one, is because I needed more space in my bag, and my old sleeping pad was not that compressible. It was probably better for like going car camping. So now I have this Thermarest Z-Lite, which is great because it's super lightweight. You can turn it into like a little, gosh, it's covered in animal fur, like a chair when you eat lunch, and it can attach to the outside of your bag, which I find very important to maximize space. And I really hope that my sleeping pad, or not my sleeping pad, my rain cover fits over top of all of this. I don't have hiking poles, which I would like to change one day, but I'm just not there yet. Gosh, this is not centered. That's gonna bug me. Get it over here. Okay, that looks better. So, oh yeah, this is my bag with the rain cover on. It doesn't really get the sides, but it'll work. And I also will have an extra water bottle, so I won't just have the water bladder. I'll have a water bottle that will go in the side pocket. So that's upstairs. Okay, so yeah, that is everything. Whew. Cool. Okay, I decided to go figure out how much this weighs. So I put everything on, put my shoes on, which really won't add that much weight, but gotta bring my 2 apples so that it's accurate. Oh gosh. Okay, got my apples. And here we go. Ugh. That was me hitting something. Here are the night socks for staying warm at night. For accuracy, I have my 2 apples, these are my socks. I'm missing a water bottle though, so let's see. Okay, this is 152.8. 152.8, which means almost nothing because I don't know how much I weigh. So now I'm gonna take it off.
I don't know how much I weigh either.
Well, let's find out.
I just don't weigh myself.
I guess well, no, I couldn't really just weigh the bag by itself. That wouldn't be accurate. Okay. Now I'm just gonna weigh
you
myself.
with no shoe.
No, I'll keep the shoes on because the shoes aren't part of the bag. Okay. Turn on. Okay. 123.2.
That's not that heavy.
It was it 152?
Yeah, that's
so
only
it's like 30, almost, it's like 29 pounds. So probably because I only have 2 days or 3 days worth of food. But
yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Cool.
Good job.
Cool.
That's horrible. Mediocre high five.
Cool.
Okay, end.
Yeah. I don't know how to tell if this is too bright or not, so I'm just gonna hope that it's not too bright. Okay. Just hope for the best. I don't know what I'm doing.